This review is sponsored by GameRound. Have you ever felt like you wanted to do your part and do more for the games you know and love, but haven't really figured out exactly how you can do that? I mean, you could go to school and learn all about it, but who wants to do that, right? Well, now you have another option that won't set you back thousands of dollars, leave yourself in debt, and scraping up change for that last cup of ramen. Introducing to you GameRound. GameRound is a platform fully focused on making indie games better by having gamers from all over the world try upcoming games for free, and asking for constructive feedback. Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, it's actually super cool, and sign up is easy. Simply go to GameRound.com and click the Sign Up Now button on the bottom or top of your screen. Enter your Facebook or email details, and bam, you're all signed up. But just being a good person at heart isn't the only benefit for signing up. I mean, come on. It's like there being one slice of pizza left over, and it's just you and your friend there. Who's going to get the last piece? You know you should let them have it. It's the kind-hearted thing to do, but to heck with that. Get in my belly, and that last slice is yours. Yes, weirdly enough, this logic applies too with GameRound. When you're all signed up and ready to go, mosey on over to the testing section, where you will find a variety of indie titles by a plethora of developers that you may play for free and test out for them. Simply find a game that looks interesting, view the game page, download the GameRound launcher that helps keep catalog of all your games in your library, install, and now you're ready for some testing. After you've had your fill of the pros and cons of a game you've just played and tested, leaving feedback and surveys is a piece of cake. Simply head back to the game's page, click Review or Survey, and leave your amazing and in-depth feedback so the developers can learn what you like or dislike about their game, so they can make its full release or future updates even better than before.
But wait! There's more!
By completing reviews, surveys, events, and doing all your due diligence to help developers make the best games they can make, you will be rewarded with G-Points. Earn G-Points by completing tasks given by GameRound, double point events, or developers themselves, and you're eligible to redeem them for super cool G-Round themed prizes, such as tumbler cups, React headphones, and even a G-Round themed mouse for PC. I mean, come on guys, I see it as a win-win. So what are you waiting for?
Do it!
Come check out GameRound and make the indie games of today have the brightest future of tomorrow. The link to sign up is down below. And now, on to the review.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Damn! Let's go! GameNChick Gaming.
Hey everyone, GameNChick is back once more with another review. Before we get started, I would like to give two big thank you shoutouts to GameRound for sponsoring this review, and to the fine folks over at Cloud M1 for providing me with the game to make this review even possible. It's super cool of you all. So now with that out of the way, let's stop clowning around and get to it. Ayo the Clown is an indie platformer developed and published by Cloud M1. What do you get when you mix the combination of a circus and clowns? Well, most of the time that answer would be sheer and utter terror. But here with Ayo the Clown, while we may be dealing with both of these topics, the terror is not to be found, thankfully. Cloud M1 attempts to bring us a lighthearted and cute imaginative platformer without having us stare into the deadlights. But do they succeed in entertaining us? Or should we yell back to them, "This is battery acid, you slime," before spraying them in the face with our inhalers to stay away? Only one way to find out, so on with the show. Story. In Ao's hometown, things are generally peaceful. Accompanied by his talented circus dog Bo, Ao juggles in the park, hangs out at the carnival, and longs after the shoemaker's granddaughter. Until one day, Bo goes missing. It's now up to Ao to leave on an adventure to discover what happened to his dog and bring his buddy back home safe and sound. Gameplay. Ao the Clown is a cute indie platformer that to me takes a lot of inspiration from titles like Yoshi's Story, or even newer entries like Yoshi's Crafted World, Yoshi's Woolly World, and even a little bit of John Wick thrown in there for good measure. Well, without all the rampaging, that is. Ao the Clown starts you off with a cute little set piece that introduces you to the main character, Ao, a little clown who loves only 3 things in life: the carnival, his dog, and the shoemaker's granddaughter. One night as he's fast asleep, dreaming of silly things like him and his dog going trick-or-treating, but role-reversing themselves as a clown going as a dog and a dog going as a clown, but he's woken up by a startling noise. Hastily, he gets to his feet, only to find his little doggo is nowhere to be found. His little buddy is gone, and there's no sign of him. Angrily, he walks to his basement, takes a sledgehammer, and begins slamming it into the floor, revealing an army-level arsenal at his disposal. He whispers in grief and anger to himself, "I put the carny life behind me, but you just had to have me back, didn't you? Well, it's safe to say that, yeah, I think I'm back." Okay, well, actually no, that part didn't happen at all. Not even close. But his dog did disappear. Where did he go? This is where we begin our platforming adventure to find out all these answers and more. As stated before, Ao the Clown seems to take inspiration from the recent bout of Yoshi games like Woolly World and Crafted World. Graphically, it has this clay-like style that makes it feel like the hybrid between Woolly World or last remake on Nintendo Switch. Venturing through each of the 8 worlds and seeing all the different art designs used for each section, such as your basic grass zone-like levels that you normally see in every first stage of Mario 2D games, forest areas that change how you navigate by using vines and other means for traversing, or water-based levels that require precise jumping from board to board to avoid jumping sharks trying to eat you. All of these worlds culminating in an in-boss fight in order to proceed to the next section of the world, like most traditional platformer games. But how does the game actually play, you ask? Well, grab your drink and a bag of popcorn, because we're about to get into it. Just try to stay away from the popcorn that actually eats you. Isn't that right, Jumbo? Ao the Clown doesn't exactly reinvent the wheel when it comes to platforming. But does it really have to? Honestly, no it does not. It just has to do what makes other platformers fun, and then add in their own unique twist or design to the title to make it an enjoyable experience. And overall, I believe it achieves this goal. In the gameplay department, it's your basic design with you controlling Ao and taking him through spinning platforms, spikes, fire, mechanisms that squash you, and so forth. And to navigate through it all, you move left and right, up and down using traditional platforming controls. The first few levels of your journey acts as your basic tutorial, with the game teaching you how to move around your area while also breaking you into the game's mechanics, such as jumping and hovering, or ducking and sliding. The jumping and hovering mechanic follows the same principles as Yoshi's hover float, only this time replacing Yoshi's little kicking feet and grunting noises with physical balloons. Balloons, clowns, seems pretty fitting, right? With the balloon, this gives you access to hover over basic enemies, make it to railing or other sections of the map that you couldn't normally access, as well as discover new secrets hidden inside the walls to further gather the game's collectibles. But balloons aren't the only clown gag at your disposal to use. I mean, why stop at balloons? For weapons against the enemy types in this game, you have the ability to throw water balloons, albeit they aren't really needed when it all comes down to it. I'll explain why. At its core, Ao the Clown is a very easy game. Not Kirby easy where the game plays itself for you, but once again, like a, repeat it with me, Yoshi game. I feel like a broken record saying that, but I feel it's not a disservice to the game, but quite the opposite, a compliment. You will die in this game, but it will not be due to the enemy variety, and a lot of the time, it's not even due to the bosses either. Self-error and mistiming a jump is a key culprit here when it comes to your death. But that's not what I'm talking about, is it? Let's get back on topic. The reason why I bring up the game's difficulty and the use of water balloons in the same category is because, well, yes, it's fun to use at times. It has a weird arc, like the rock throwing in Friday the 13th on the NES. Besides being awkward to throw, there's really no reason to actually use it against any enemy whatsoever. I'm not even joking. The game is so easy to that point where you can literally just focus on just platforming and making it through the level, with the occasional bop on the head by jumping on an enemy to defeat them. I'm not exaggerating. Don't get it twisted though, I'm not saying the game is bad because of this. If anything, it gives you more incentive to want to speedrun it, like I subconsciously started doing out of instinct during my playthrough. So while the game may be easy, yes, and weapons are pretty useless overall, yes, I do not feel that's a huge factor in determining this game's worth overall. This game's strength thrives off of its amazing level design, fun boss fights, imaginative enemy variety, fluidity of its controls, and vast level diversity that keeps every single thing in the game fresh. One moment you'll be simple platforming left and right, climbing a vine or a mesh wall, but 2 seconds later you're fighting using a tank or helicopter to take down enemies, running from a giant bear that chases you in an escape-type mission, defying gravity by becoming a magnet for specific levels that makes you switch between top of the level to bottom, and so much more. All backgrounds for each section of this game feel like they breathe their own life. Nothing feels borrowed or even copy-pasted. Every level feels like it was designed specifically for the purpose of the theme it was going for, and adding in the vibrant and alive world, the art style, and the design of these levels on top of it brings it all together. I swear, at times you could be fooled into thinking that you're playing a first-party Nintendo title. That's my opinion, and it won't change. I fell in love with this stuff. But guys, if you know me, you pretty much know what I'm about to say, right? What's the one thing that I talked about earlier that I didn't get back to? Oh yeah, that's right, boss fights. You know how I love me some good boss fights. So let's briefly talk about this before making our wrap up. The boss fights in this game for sure are easy as pie. No, not the acidic type of pies from Killer Clowns or Outer Space. No, not like the pie The Rock talks about. No, I'm talking about a cakewalk. I want cake. So anyways, the boss fights range from easy to super easy. That doesn't mean they're bad just because they're easy, far from it. In fact, I think the boss fights themselves show just how much creativity the folks over at Cloud M1 actually have. You start off with a simple fat troll, who rolls around the same area you fight him in, until he gets dizzy enough so you can smash his belly.
Kiss me, fat boy.
But then, soon branch off into fights versus a gigantic bear where speed and timing is your ally, a hip-hop frog, yes that's right, a hip-hop frog, where you have to use a world-based minigame mechanic to injure him. He gives you words, and you have to spell them out in order to gain the chance to injure him and defeat him. Guess that means, whether it's in the rain or in the snow, he will not have that funky flow. You even take on a little wolf disguised as a gigantic robot, because he gets so mad that you're happy and he's not. He's never learned how to laugh or smile. Well, I could make you smile, buddy.
Beep, Richie.
There's so much more that I could say about this title. I've tried to think of really bad negatives to keep this balanced, but other than weapons being useless and maybe the game being too easy, I can't critique the negatives in this game without venturing into the realm of nitpicking and finding stuff purposefully to be mad at, and that's not how I do things around these parts. Overall, when it's all said and done, Ayo the Clown is and was an absolute joy to play from start to finish. It's been a long time since I felt a platformer performed at this high of a level where I had trouble to even find overall negatives about it, and I think that's a victory in itself, considering how many platform games I digest yearly. It's got all the makings of a great and inviting title for all ages, with its great soundtrack, vibrant, colorful worlds that feel unique and alive, fun but short boss fights, great level variety that shifts the focus from platforming to other means of traversing, cute story about a lost doggo, and very smooth and fluid controls that packages everything into one great feeling game. Sure, there are some minor downsides, like maybe the game isn't that hard and can be beaten in roughly 4 hours or so, and the weapons at times can be pretty useless. However, I feel like there is a lot more positive than any negative that would make me change my mind on the verdict. So with all this being said, my verdict is clear. GameNChick says bye now. Come on, don't you want it?
Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you want it?
Hey everyone, thanks for watching! I really hope you enjoyed that review, and I look forward to bringing more to you in the coming future. For new people, feel free to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like or share, and for people already subscribed, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on any future content uploaded. Also, feel free to click on my other reviews linked above, because they're kinda cool too. So, give them a look! Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch all you chickadees on the next one. Queen!